What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97, and welcome to episode number 78 of my WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. And we are here with Go Home episode of Tuesday night main event prior to the Payback pay-per-view. Getting ahead of myself. And tonight we determine the number one contender for the tag team titles, as it is the Usos taking on the Shield. The winning team will face the Ascension at Payback. Tamina Snuka defeats Brie Bella as she prepares to face the Divas champion Paige for the title. The New Day scores a tag team victory over the team of Fandango and Adam Rose. Ryback defeats Booker T as Ryback is getting set to face Rusev at the pay-per-view. And in the main event, we have a tag team matchup as we will see opponents at Payback facing off in tag team action, as it is Darren Young and Cody Rhodes teaming up to face their adversaries at Payback, Goldust and the Intercontinental Champion Titus O'Neil. So yes, this is an episode of tag team matches, and I know we just had the whole month of May where it was like tag team matches galore. Although, you know, more recently I've shifted to a format where I feel like it'll be better off if I just play as both tag teams. This is kind of a new style I've sort of adopted, because the matches with the AI suck. Let's be frank. You have people jumping in the ring, in and out. There's no order, and it's hard to really tell a story and end a match, and without it being like half an hour for a tag team matchup. So at least if I'm playing both sides, it can hopefully try to balance things out a bit more, not make it more realistic, make it less people jumping in the ring all the time. So we'll see how it goes. But enough about me, let's focus on the action at hand, as we are just 2 episodes away from Payback, and the Ascension, well, they've already faced off against the Wyatt family to capture the tag team titles. The Shield could perhaps be the next big challenge for the Ascension to try to overcome, or it could be the Usos. I mean, the Usos have been sort of out of the spotlight for up to this point in their Universe Mode careers. They've been kind of they were around in WWE 13, but then they kind of disappeared for a while. Then they came back, and they've kind of been building themselves up to tag title contention, because obviously when you kind of just disappear for a while, you need to build yourself back up, and it's almost as if you're kind of starting over again as a tag team. So the Usos, it's been taking them a while to get to this point, but if they can defeat the Shield like they did in the tag team #1 contenders tournament, if the Usos can win here tonight, they will finally get that tag team title shot. Although this isn't the first time they've been in a #1 contenders situation. Of course, in that tag team tournament, the Usos were defeated by the Ascension. And of course, we know where the Ascension, where that led them, obviously, to become tag team champions. And the Wyatt family, they just kind of disappeared. They had a set amount of time where if they didn't, because they just disappeared. We didn't hear from them after Over the Limit. Not on Raw, SmackDown, nothing. Not even main event. The Wyatt family just up and disappeared. So somebody had to make the call that, if the Wyatt family, we'll give them 3 weeks. If they don't make an appearance, we have to find new #1 contenders. Luckily enough, we have some strong tag teams in the division who have been making waves for themselves, like the Usos, and then of course the Shield. I mean, their story has been well documented ever since they debuted at Over the Limit of last year in WWE 13. The Shield have been sort of just wreaking havoc. They've been taking names, they've been taking out everybody on the roster. Although they have kind of fallen down a little bit in the rankings. I mean, at WrestleMania they defeated the Wyatt family, but then after that, I mean, Roman Reigns drafted to SmackDown. Rollins and Ambrose, they've still managed to put up a pretty successful, or not exactly successful, but they're still a threat as a tag team. I mean, these two superstars are talented enough that they can survive without Roman Reigns. But they haven't quite, obviously when you're a tag team that's known for destroying everybody, when you lose one of your core members, then it's really tough to live up to the expectations you've built for yourself, and that's kind of what has set back Rollins and Ambrose. It's not that their performance has really dipped at all. It's just that without that third man, they're just not the same. They're not the Shield that we know and we're used to seeing dominate. This is a different kind of Shield, and you know, they've still managed to keep themselves in the fray. They've been in the hunt, but obviously they're no longer in that main event spotlight that they used to have. And it's been kind of a rough transition for Ambrose and Rollins, but you know, in the tag team tournament, they still did have a good performance, although they were defeated by the Usos. Tonight, this is their chance at redemption, their chance at revenge against the Usos. And I'm sure they would love to go on to Payback to face the Ascension for the tag team titles. Obviously, the Shield, they're going to be a bit upset that they weren't the ones to dethrone the Wyatt family at Extreme Rules, and the Ascension kind of took that away from them. So it would be an interesting thing to see the Shield taking on the Ascension. But of course, the same goes for the Usos taking on the Ascension. I mean, it would be the rematch for them. They're looking for redemption as well. So redemption, definitely a theme heading into Payback, and definitely a theme in this matchup here tonight for both teams. At the moment, Ambrose and Uso both in the ring. Jimmy Uso tossing Ambrose into the corner. Looks to make a tag, and he does. In comes Jay. And Dean Ambrose. Oh, a double super kick right there from Jimmy and Jay. And Ambrose, he just got clocked right there, but Rollins, he sneaks into the ring, breaks up that pinfall there. And, I mean, you get super kicked in the face by two people at once. Definitely, you're going to be seeing stars. I think Ambrose did need that bit of an assist there. Although, you know, maybe he could have kicked out. I mean, it's not impossible. But, I mean, just getting super kicked by one man is enough to really knock you silly. Getting super kicked by two, that's double, almost, you know, it's just devastating impact. But now Seth Rollins tagged into the matchup. Some double teaming from the Shield there, as now Seth Rollins looks to inflict some damage on Jey Uso here, as he's got him hooked here. Look at this. Oh, what do you even call that move? Seth Rollins. Oh, but nope. Broken up there by Jimmy Uso. It was like a fisherman suplex into a... I don't even know what to call that, but I'm sure if I was more informative on the independent scene and all that, if I was more technically based with this whole wrestling thing, I'd give you the proper name. I will look that up, though. I know I'm not always the best when it comes to looking up moves after I say I would research them, but I definitely will get that one, because that's not a move that we've seen Seth Rollins just, you know, whip out of his pants. No, Seth Rollins, he's used that move before. Tornado DDT off the second rope. As I'm getting a bit sidetracked here, I gotta focus on the action. Seth Rollins, look at this, setting him up for a super... No! Jey Uso, now a super kick of his own! He ducked the super kick from Rollins, now delivers one of his own. Cover here, 2 count, and oh, just barely kicking out to Seth Rollins. Barely before the 3 count. I believe Seth Rollins, he calls his super kick the Vada Kedavra, and definitely has some... I don't even know what I was going with that, but as Jey Uso delivers a super kick to the gut now, super kicks being thrown around all over the place. Seth Rollins, though, he always is the more technical superstar, I would have to say, of the Shield between Ambrose and Rollins. And even when Reigns was there, Seth Rollins was the technician. He's the mastermind. He's the architect. He's always got a plan heading into his matches, and he really just kind of builds his matches from the ground up. He starts out with with Seth Rollins, it just builds and builds and builds. Oh, but look at this. Seth Rollins, look at that, a hurricanrana from the top rope. Seth Rollins, he truly is a mastermind of the squared circle. He knows that ring inside and out, and he knows how to deconstruct his opponent's offense. Oh, and now the swinging jawbreaker right there from Seth Rollins, or maybe even a cutter, as now he tags in Dean Ambrose. Frequent tags here from the Shield, keeping each other fresh while at the same time wearing down Jey Uso. That's basic, fundamental tag team skills right there. Let's look at this. Oh, forearm shot there from Jey, but Dean Ambrose rebounds back from the forearm, delivers the clothesline, and now into the cover. 2 counts, but it's broken up by Jimmy Uso. As Dean Ambrose, now just look at that, just kicking Jey Uso right there, just showing disrespect, or maybe just cockiness from Dean Ambrose there. And, oh, a DDT planting Jey right on the top of his head. And Dean Ambrose now, he's looking to finish it. He's signaled for the end, as he's looking to try to finish off, perhaps, Jey Uso right here and now. Spine buster right there from Dean Ambrose. And speaking of movesets, Dean Ambrose has quite the unique moveset of his own. Like I said, Seth Rollins is more of the technician. Dean Ambrose, obviously he's the lunatic fringe. You never really know what he's gonna do. Heck, I'm sure I don't think he'd even break a sweat. He wouldn't even bat an eye. Pulling out moves like a pile driver, power slam, just whatever, any move in the arsenal. It could be something as simple as a headlock, or even as complex as, well, wait a minute, what's he gonna do here? Oh, he caught Jey Uso off the crossbody, then delivered the backbreaker into the cover here, but a rope break as Jey Uso's foot managed to reach the bottom rope. As I'm saying though, Dean Ambrose, it could be something as simple as a headlock to as convoluted as a Phoenix Splash. I mean, Dean Ambrose, you never know what to expect with this man. True, he does have his fundamentals. He has his basic sort of moveset, but he's willing to expand that with anything. You can never really be too prepared when you're about to face Dean Ambrose. As now he goes to the corner. Oh, and he's bringing out he's got that pistol there. He's looking to finish Jey Uso off with this one. The running knee trembler to the side of the head. As Dean Ambrose now, you can see he's definitely spent. This is taking a lot out of him. But nonetheless, he's still looking to go for the finishing blow. Jey Uso, he's in trouble. Dean Ambrose, he's just lying in wait. He's just poised, ready to strike. Jey Uso back to his feet. Dean Ambrose hooks the arms here for the butterfly DDT as he plants Jey Uso face first into the mat. And now goes for the cover. Oh, but then again, there's Jimmy Uso in to break it up. Oh, and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins takes out the referee from behind. And now Seth Rollins, he's going after Jimmy Uso here. Oh, what a powerbomb somersault over the top rope into the powerbomb. Miraculously, the referee is already back to his feet. But nonetheless, the damage may have already been done. Dean Ambrose continuing the assault on Jey Uso, driving the elbow right into the heart. As Ambrose now dragging Jey Uso around the ring. But, oh, counter here is, wait a minute, the ref has Seth Rollins in a headlock. What the? Ref, you're not a wrestler. You gotta, know your role. Know your role and shut your mouth, ref. Just do your job. As a diving headbutt off the second rope by Jey Uso, right to the rib cage of Dean Ambrose, and again to the second rope. What's he gonna do here? I guess Dean Ambrose was a bit out of range. Jey Uso, he changed his mind there. Meanwhile, Dean Ambrose, he's crawling towards Seth Rollins, and oh, Jimmy Uso's not gonna make it in time. Seth Rollins tagged into the matchup, off the hot tag, uppercut to Jimmy, I should say, and now he knocks Jey off the ropes. And look at this roll up on Jimmy Uso, could have him here. 2 counts, and oh no, wait. Now it's Jimmy Uso, rolls him over, and now into a cover of his own. 2 count, and oh, barely at the last second, Seth kicks out. Jimmy almost had him there. And now it's, oh no, he went for the super kick. Seth Rollins saw it coming. And I mean, he's already got his head kicked in once from a super kick from an Uso today. He doesn't want to get kicked by the other. Oh, what a double team move there. Seth Rollins not allowing Jimmy Uso to get any distance. And then Dean Ambrose just jumping right on the back of Jimmy Uso. That will definitely hurt you in the morning. As Jimmy Uso, nice shot to the gut now, punch the face. Dean Ambrose thrown into the corner. Now a chop, no, but it's blocked. Countered by Ambrose. Ambrose with some strikes of his own. Counter again by Jimmy. Now a chop. And another chop. And Jimmy Uso, look at this. Perching Dean Ambrose up on that top rope here. What is he going to do? Dean, this is not where Dean wants to be. Oh my gosh, off the second rope. Jimmy Uso, oh, look at this. Samoan drop from the second rope. Jimmy Uso is on fire right now. Dean Ambrose, he could be done. Jimmy Uso going to the top rope, and we know what he's thinking here. Uso splash, hooks the leg on Dean. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins could not get into the ring in time to save Dean Ambrose. And Jimmy Uso picks up the victory for the Usos off of that huge splash coming off of that Samoan drop from the second rope. Man, and I mean, Dean Ambrose, he definitely took some punishment throughout that matchup, but I don't think he ever could have prepared for that Samoan drop from the second rope. No, sir. Jimmy Uso truly pulling at Dean Ambrose, just pulling something out of his behind that you wouldn't even expect. And you can see some nice double team work here throughout the early stages of the matchup and definitely into the later half as well. Ambrose jumping off the second. I can't even speak. I'm stumbling here. But then, of course, the splash that ended it all and ended the Shield's perhaps chance at the tag team titles, which means at Payback it will be the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, taking on the Ascension for the WWE Tag Team Championships. That is going to be epic. And as you can see, Dean Ambrose now, he's back to his feet. What the hell? Seth Rollins! Seth Rollins, springboard knee, taking out Dean Ambrose. What is Seth doing here? Seth Rollins, he's just completely lost it. Attacking Dean Ambrose right now. Oh no. Seth, that's your partner. What are you? Don't do this. Seth, powerbomb into the turnbuckle. Seth has just snapped here. Dean Ambrose, he's completely defenseless. I mean, he just got knocked. Oh no. Seth Rollins, curb stomp. Curb stomps Dean Ambrose face into the mat. Seth Rollins, he's just gone insane right now. He's just completely, he's lost it. He's out of control right now. Oh, and now he's got a steel chair. Referee, you gotta do. We need security. Somebody's gotta stop Seth Rollins right now. Oh, right to the back of Dean Ambrose, and now a chair shot to the skull. This is what warranted this attack. Seth Rollins, he's just gone ballistic right now. Ow! Another chair shot to Ambrose, and another one. And Dean Ambrose somehow back to his feet, but I don't even think he knows where he is right now. I mean, he got assaulted by the Usos, hit with that splash, and now Seth Rollins just out of nowhere, just blatantly attacking Dean Ambrose. What the hell just provoked Seth Rollins to do this? This is the ultimate betrayal here tonight on Main Event, and Seth still isn't done. Another chair shot to Dean Ambrose, and he's trying to get back to his feet, but I mean, Dean Ambrose, he's out of it right now. Oh, and now a DDT onto the chair. Seth Rollins, he is not stopping at anything tonight, folks. And now he's dragging Dean Ambrose over that chair. What the hell could Seth? What does he possibly have in mind here? No, Seth, don't do it. Don't do it, Seth. That's your partner. You've worked for him for almost a year. Oh, a curb stop onto the steel chair. Seth Rollins. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. Seth Rollins, he just... No, Seth, you're done. No, Seth, he's coming back. Seth, somebody stop this referee. Do something. Don't just stand there. Do something for once in your life. Seth Rollins, he's trying to end Dean Ambrose's career here. Another chair shot. Oh my God, somebody... I'm about to run in there myself. This is out of control. Another chair shot to the skull. Dean Ambrose, this might be the end of Dean Ambrose right... Oh, not again. Not again. Seth Rollins, another curb stomp onto the steel chair. Oh my God. What has Seth done? He's just... I'm speechless. I'm speechless right now, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Seth Rollins just... Wow, I don't know what to say. Seth and they've been together for over a year. I really don't know what to say. Wow, I never expected something like that out of Seth Rollins. As long as the Shield has been around, as long as they've, everything they've been through, I never would have expected that. I just wouldn't have expected that out of Seth Rollins. Not tonight, not next week, never. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what else to say. Well, we have to move on to our main event here tonight. We have another tag team matchups have to take place, but I guess we'll have to hear from Seth Rollins at some point why he just did that. That might be the end of Dean Ambrose. I mean, he got all those chair shots, the curb stomps. He's definitely he has to have a concussion, possibly even worse than that. He might even have suffered some brain damage from all that. And anyway, I gotta put that behind me. I won't be able to finish this if. Anyway, on to our tag team main event here tonight, folks. Titus O'Neil and Goldust teaming up to take on their opponents at Payback, Darren Young and Cody Rhodes. Of course, there's been a lot brewing here over the past several months between these four men. Of course, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, ever since Extreme Rules, were even back before that, history as a tag team, just loss after loss for the Brotherhood. They just couldn't quite get up to that tag team title shot, and it's just kind of slowly fell apart for these two men, these two brothers. And in the end, it's all coming to a head at Payback. We're going to be seeing Goldust take on Cody Rhodes in a steel cage match. And as well as that, look at Titus O'Neil, crossbody off the top rope with an assist from Goldust. And Titus O'Neil, he's going to be defending his Intercontinental Championship against Darren Young. Of course, these two men, former primetime players. They at one point were just seconds away from becoming tag team champions, and it's all just fell apart from there. Oh, what a slap by Titus! Just shows the kind of mindset Titus O'Neil is in heading into Payback. I mean, just absolutely slapping Darren Young in the face, and well, Titus, he wants to get out of there. I mean, granted, Titus O'Neil, his run as the Intercontinental Champion, I mean, heck, Titus even faced Goldust at Over the Limit. But I'm sure Titus O'Neil, he was not prepared to face Darren Young at Payback. I mean, obviously Darren Young, he's not done with Titus O'Neil, not by a long shot. It was obvious that at some point Darren Young was going to be going after Titus O'Neil, whether or not Titus held the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think Titus O'Neil expected it to be this soon. He probably figured he had some more time, but a cheap shot right there to Darren Young. And what a move there by Goldust, just absolutely planting Darren Young face first with that reverse STO. As now Titus, you see now that Darren's down, he's willing to step in the ring, inflict some damage. And I'm sure Titus O'Neil, he's got a lot to try to gain in a matchup tonight, such as this. And the same can be said for either of these four men, any of them, because in a match like this, 5 days before Payback, you want to try to inflict as much damage on your opponent as possible. You want to try to perhaps cause an injury that could weaken them heading into your matchup, whether it's for the Intercontinental Championship or inside of a steel cage. Try to perhaps pick apart a certain body part, go after the arm, the leg, and that's just what Titus is doing right now with that nice shoulder breaker. Looking to perhaps try to wear down the arm of Darren Young, try to perhaps take the arm out of the equation at Payback. Not a bad strategy by Titus. But you notice that as soon as Darren Young gets on the offensive, Titus O'Neil, he's out of there. He's out like a light. And that's what was happening earlier on. But now that Darren's been beaten up by Goldust, Titus has no problem tagging into the matchup. And that just kind of shows that Titus O'Neil, he hasn't forgotten about Darren Young. He hasn't forgotten about the primetime players. There's something that is just keeping Titus O'Neil truly just finishing off Darren Young. It's almost like there's something just holding him back. He doesn't want to be in the ring with Darren Young. And perhaps that's why at WrestleMania, when Titus won the Intercontinental Championship, Darren Young, he just kind of, at that point, he really wasn't going to get a match with Titus unless he became #1 contender. And it did take a little while. I thought maybe at Extreme Rules he would have won the triple threat. But Goldust walked out, obviously the winner. So Darren, he's got a bit of a beef with Goldust as well because he took that shot at Titus O'Neil away from him. And now Titus with a gut buster right there. And again, Titus O'Neil just barking away. Well, you can make the obvious joke of Titus O'Neil. He's all bark and no bites, but Titus O'Neil as the Intercontinental Champion, he's got one hell of a bite, that's for sure. At WrestleMania, winning the Fatal 4-Way, and you know, at that point, people thought maybe he just got lucky. It was a fatal four-way. He didn't deserve to dethrone Ryback as Intercontinental Champion. But then we saw at Extreme Rules, Titus O'Neil was more than capable of holding his own against Mac and retaining the title, which he did. That was his first real obstacle. I mean, obviously, the first major obstacle in his career was to get past Darren Young. He had to prove that he was not the weak link in the Primetime Players. And he did that. Next was Ryback. You know, people called him a fluke as a champion. But he beat Ryback at Extreme Rules, and now the new threat is kind of a recurring one, as Darren Young is back in the fray. Darren Young, he ultimately, Titus O'Neil hasn't finished him off, and that is what is keeping Darren Young in the fray. If Titus had just finished Darren off at Elimination Chamber, then he wouldn't have to deal with this problem. But fortunately for him, Darren Young, he's got more left in the tank than I guess Titus would have given him credit for. Titus, he's still got to deal with Darren Young because Darren, he's just like a pesky fly. He won't go away. And now Darren finally tags in Cody Rhodes. What the hell is this? We saw this once before from the Primetime Players, a doomsday device. Perhaps Darren trying to play a little bit of mind games with Titus. As we see Cody Rhodes now entering the matchup, going after his brother Goldust. There's history between these two men as well. And it all comes to a conclusion at Payback for all four of these men. As Titus O'Neil, as I was saying, though, for some reason, he just hasn't been able... Oh, and now look at this. A cheap shot on Cody Rhodes, attacking him. Referee not doing a thing about it. I mean, this referee just cannot do anything tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he can count pinfalls. That's about it. He's not willing to call any disqualifications. He doesn't want to get on the bad side of any of these superstars. And this close to the pay-per-view, understandably so. I mean, Darren and Titus, they've got bad blood brewing. Same can be said for Cody and Goldust. Look at Cody throwing his body on the line with that moonsault. It took Cody a while to get into this matchup, so he's really just coming in like a house of fire now that he's managed to go on the offensive. I mean, Titus, he tried to shut him down and he managed to slow his momentum, but Cody's back in the fray now as he's really bringing the fight to his brother Goldust. But obviously, at Payback, the match won't be decided by pinfall or submission. It won't be a tag team matchup. It'll just be one-on-one inside the steel cage because there are no pinfalls or submissions in steel cages this year, which sucks. But nonetheless, the match continues. As Cody and Goldust, one of these men, well, they're going to buy a cage, and whether they like it or not, they're going to be trapped in there with each other, and things could get ugly at Payback. And this is a bit of a prelude to what will go down at Payback, as Cody Rhodes right now going off the ropes, drops the knee right onto the face of Goldust, and now Titus has entered the ring. Titus O'Neil attacking Cody Rhodes, but Cody tosses him over the top, out to the floor, and now Cody Rhodes going after Goldust here, setting him up for the Alabama Slammer. And Goldust, he's in trouble right now, folks. Cody Rhodes looking to finish him off with the crossroads. Goldust up to his feet. Titus O'Neil, he's hightailed it out of here. Cody Rhodes, crossroads connects. And that could put Goldust away. Cody for the cover. 1, 2, 3. That is it, folks. Cody Rhodes and Darren Young pick up the tag team victory. And could that be a bit of a precursor to what we will see at Payback? Will Cody Rhodes once again defeat Goldust? Although it will be in a steel cage, so the circumstances will be far different. And at the same time, will Darren Young, will he be successful in his Intercontinental Championship match with Titus O'Neil? Will he manage to capture the title? Or will his own personal demons get the better of him? I mean, he might not be... Obviously, he's not in it for the Intercontinental title. But will Darren be willing to break the rules? Use weapons? Will he be able to maintain his composure, keep himself under control? As you see right there, well, he almost got back into this thing, but evidently Darren Young cutting him off, it just stopped him in his tracks. Well, these four men, they're going to have to wait till Payback to see how this thing all concludes. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Universe Mode. I want to thank you all for watching, as always, and until the next episode, keep on YouTubing.